Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Infinite Power of Darkness, Dark King Mechikabura, Power of Time Unleashed, and seeing how good he is after his easy aim. Now he's a crossover lead of Ki plus 3, HP attack and defense of 150%. Whilst greatly raising attack and greatly raising his defense for one turn, he also causes real damage to the enemy and lowers their attack and defense. He has Ki plus 1, attack and defense of 200%, and gets an additional attack and defense of 100% when performing a super. He will randomly change Ki spheres of a certain type, AGL excluded, to Rainbow. He gets an additional attack and defense of 25% per Ki sphere, an additional attack and defense of 100% with 2 or more AGL Ki spheres, an additional attack of 100% with 2 or more strength or physical type Ki spheres, an additional defense of 100% with 2 or more tech or int type Ki spheres, and he recovers 10% HP, reduces damage received by 10% per rainbow Ki sphere obtained. He also launches an additional super attack with 2 or more rainbow Ki spheres obtained. Fear and Faith, Brainiacs, Revival, Master of Magic, Godly Power, Big Bad Bosses, and Sharing the Limit are his link skills, and he, honestly speaking, looks pretty damn good. He's not a first slot unit. He is a great second slot unit. There's a lot that he does that's really awesome. So he can hit like 20 mil. That's very impressive. He also has really good defense after super. So he's one of those units that's going to have huge defensive capabilities after super. His link set is pretty solid as well. Fear and Faith, Brainiacs, Revival, Master Magic, Godly Power, Big Bad Bosses, and Sharing the Limit. In terms of build, you probably want to give him crit. Definitely want to give him crit, because he can hit some big attack stats. He has additionals baked into his system. I would give him crit, and you can alternate depending on how you want him to go between additional and between evasion. For me personally, he should have enough defense start of turn with a couple rainbow orbs picked up to be able to tank some of the AoE / pre-super attacks they might take. Whereas, I think overall, besides that, you probably want to look at him, picking up, for example, evasion in case of him taking a super. Now, how his defense works is it can get very high. Remember, he can have 300, 400k start turn defense, but he's getting another 100% attack and defense when firing his super attack. So that's going to push him all the way up to like 600, 700k. And then he's also greatly raising defense one turn on super, so he's going to have close to 800, 900k, along also with the 30% or 20 or 10% damage reduction that you're likely to get. The ideal scenario would be to net 2 AGL orbs and 4 rainbow orbs, which would give him 1% damage reduction, as well as also the big attack and defense boosts. But overall, it's just going to depend on how lucky you get orb-wise. His requirements for orbs is probably one of the bigger factors in terms of how his own performance is going to be. If you are feeling unsafe, always prioritize the defensive situation with tech, int, or AGL. And if you are feeling like you just need a little bit more damage, then rather prioritize the strength or physical, or of course, just AGL if you can, and want both. For me, he's a very well designed unit because of his really good link set, because of how his whole passive works, because of how everything comes together. I genuinely find him to be a very interesting, very strong, very powerful unit. And I think overall he is really quite solid. So I do really like him. I do think he's a good unit. I think he brings a lot to the table. And I think overall he does have a very good position on a lot of teams. He's on quite a few solid categories. Demonic Power, Dragon Ball Heroes, obviously, Power of Wishes, Realm of the Gods, Storied Figures, and Terrifying Conquerors, are all where you can see him kind of be effective. What I will say is that he has he does have no category or passive restrictions. So like with a lot of these, like, how can I say, with a lot of these heroes units, a lot of the times you have a ton of restrictions. You have a ton of units that are really restricted and unable to, like, realistically function outside of the heroes team. So in this situation, that's not the case. In this situation, he has no restrictions. So he can be functionally good on pretty much any team that he's on. And that's because there's no direct need to have like any other character. There's no direct need to have specifically any type of character, etc., to fulfill this whole passive. You just kind of want big bad bosses, and that's probably it, I would say, overall. And then you're probably good to go. So yeah, but I'd say that's about it. Really, Mechikabura looks really good. I think he really is quite solid. I think he's a ton of fun. A little bit orb dependent, of course, but I think outside of that, he's a great unit. That's going to be a lot of fun to run on a ton of teams. Big bad bosses, Fear and Faith, all give him a great baseline link-wise, and then you have Brainiacs and Master of Magic, which are a little bit more left field, but they're still good links in their own right. So Mechikabura, very, very good. Very happy with how he functions as a unit. And yeah, that's basically it from me. So I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, of course, let me know what you think about Mechikabura. Have you used him or have you not? I'm excited to see how well he does alongside some of these other heroes units that they're releasing very soon. So yeah, but I think overall he's going to be a ton of fun. And I think he's going to look really good alongside some of these good first slot options that are coming out for the Extreme Heroes team. So yeah, that's it for me. Bye.